So I decided to make a video talking about this whole mess for a number of reasons, but the two big ones are as follows. One of the people involved I have been on streams with and have talked to up until this point. I've just talked to them recently. The other is because one of the biggest things I hate on the internet is hypocrisy. Coming from this whole political world, I deal with it on a daily basis, and I hate when I see it permeate into cultural movements or just other areas of the internet. And so when I see that happen, as I do with other topics I bring up on this channel, I attempt to call that out. And the whole situation I'm alluding to here is with KatyDid, who I'm just going to refer to as Katy in this video when I mention her. And the hypocrisy is coming from, well, YellowFlash among some other people. And so I thought I would do my best to put that on display, starting with what exactly went down in a very short amount of time. A Indie Comics EVS Arbiter channel put out a investigation, basically digging up a bunch of old stream clips and screenshots and such from a bunch of stuff that related to things KatyDid was involved with, relating to a bunch of manga stuff. This was Inuyasha, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I want to first address why I might not be pronouncing that right. For the most part, I find manga and anime to be degenerate from the jump. I'm not a big fan of Japanese media at all, so I know very little about it, and so during this whole kerfuffle, I had to research a bit through the googly googs and look up sort of what the plots to these things are, what they're about, the characters, things like that. But in this channel, digging up all this stuff that Katy had put out there, they went through her Facebook, which then led to her being doxxed later on, which is anybody on the internet knows can cause a whole lot of problems. The people who are doing that stuff, who are actually putting those things nefariously out on the internet, are really only doing it for one reason, which is try to garner her as much hate as possible, which that is the internet, right? We're all aware of that, but I am in no means in support of doxing. I find that shit to be gross, especially when you're talking about people who have families and stuff like that. That is fucked up. There is no bridge too far for these people to walk over, and that's been made clear. Now, in the streams and things that they dug up, the main gripe was a clip of Katy reacting to a fanfic drawing of two characters from this anime, one of them a dog, one of them a young girl, in relations, we'll call it. Now, this was a edited photo that was put up on screen during the stream broadcast that these people put out. And I have no desire to go look up an uncensored one. Besides that, the biggest thing here that they were able to dig up are some fan fictions that were written by other people than Katy, which were shared or put out on this Facebook group or page that she was a part of. She also shared stuff on a Twitter account and things like that. But the point being that none of the stuff that was actually dug up by these people actually had really any real substance to it. And this is where the hypocrisy comes into play. See why Wiggle and people in the CG slums and all of these individuals on the internet like YellowFlash were going on the internet talking about all of this and basically rambling on about how Katy was a bunch of horrible things, which I'm not going to repeat here. We can play clips if I need to, or you can just use your imagination. But as you can see from the tweets and things I've put up here, none of this stuff is good. But while all this was going on, and YellowFlash was out there basically doing a victory lap, a bunch of substanceless crap, people began to take notice in some of his Twitter replies, and I decided to do some searching on his Twitter timeline, as well as YouTube, and found that, well, this guy has a bunch of content about Redo of Healer, and is out there on Twitter saying that it's the best thing ever. So this is, drumroll please, hypocrisy. It's exactly what I'm talking about. It's the thing that I fucking hate on the internet. Now, this isn't even getting into the Saska sisters, right? These people are all up on the Saska sisters, gun guarding those people. And the funny thing there is that the Saska sisters are these Satanists that Eric July wants to turn into his perfect little Christians that are making these comic books for him, but these people are complete degenerates. And Flash is somebody who is literally, I mean, Redo of Healer, we can go into some of the plots here and what some of this stuff includes in it, but I'm really just going to do it with tweets because I think people already did say it. And maybe I'll put up some screenshots of some of the lovely things you can see in Redo of Healer, maybe if I can find some that are censored. But to be honest with you, I doubt it. This is a anime that's main feature is great. It also has animal stuff in it, which is what Flash has the biggest problem with, apparently. You know how Flash and all the people in the Eric July space like to talk about how anybody who associates with people like Vito or now Katie are now signing on to what that person does, or, getting in bed with that type of person. Well, here's the thing. Flash, this guy who's a big fan of Redo of Healer, is on stream with a bunch of other people. None of those people are calling that out. None of those people have a problem with that. Weird how that works. Almost like it's hypocrisy. I don't know. That shit just seems dirty to me. Basically, you get to go on the attack while all of this shit's just sitting on your timeline and on your YouTube channel. And fuck, to me, it's like PPP critiquing Ricada while being as fat as I am. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this there. I just thought this was something I should point out while all this drama is playing out. Some of the people who are commenting on this thing aren't exactly as clean as they appear. And another note of that, Eric July, who put up a tweet talking about all of this. You're on Flashcast all the time. You communicate with YellowFlash. So what I said before with him being a Redo of Healer fan, well, that applies to you. You're an associate of him, and you know what he's into. Why don't you have a problem with that? Anyway, I find all this shit to be degenerate, and I'm going to go back to doing what I've been doing for a while, which is laughing at everybody. At the end of the day, #blame Katie.